Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing these crimes, report them immediately.
I'm Polly.
And I'm Peter.
We host the Traffic Jam Show on City FM.
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Do the right thing.
And Vinaka Fiji, in this bulletin, viral video prompts more bullying complaints. Heads of missions told to be on alert for COVID-19. An alleged murder accused acquitted.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nana.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says he is sickened and outraged after seeing a video of students brutally beating another. Bainimarama says it broke his heart seeing the video on social media as he saw his own grandchildren and children in the student who was being assaulted. The Prime Minister, who named Ratu Kandavulevu School in his statement, says while police are investigating, he wants to make it clear that Fiji should have zero tolerance for such merciless behavior. Bainimarama believes such incidents show the breakdown in our social values and warns students not to see the vulnerable as easy targets for picking on or beating. The Prime Minister is asking children who witness or experience bullying to come forward and report acts of physical or verbal abuse to their heads of school. The Ministry of Education, meanwhile, says it strongly condemns violence in any form, reinforcing its zero-tolerance policy on violence or abuse in schools. Following the leak of the video, the ministry released a statement which says once an incident is reported, it's mandatory for heads of schools to report the matter to police, take the student for medical examination, and duly inform the parents. It adds the heads of schools are tasked by the ministry to take up such responsibilities and ownership. Any incident that is in breach of the disciplinary policy should be reported by the heads of schools to the ministry within the first hour of the incident. Meanwhile, the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission has received 4 more complaints of bullying in schools after the assault video was leaked. The Commission says parents and guardians are now coming forward to lodge complaints ranging from physical to emotional violence by fellow students. Director Ashwin Raj says one of the cases involves a Year 3 student being subjected to emotional bullying and constant ridicule by fellow students because his father is serving time. On to other news. Acting Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs Yogesh Karan says all heads of missions abroad have been formally notified to be on alert for COVID-19. Karan says while there have been no reports of Fijian nationals having contracted COVID-19 in the wake of the global outbreak, Fiji's envoys have been directed to be vigilant. This comes as Fiji last week widened its travel restrictions, banning nationals from China, Italy, Iran and Cheongdo and Daegu City in South Korea from entering our borders.
So far, I haven't got any adverse report, but we've written to all our heads of missions yesterday and advised them that should there be any case or they need to have watchful eyes should any of our national need assistance.
A 24-year-old man who falsely claimed to have COVID-19 was denied bail by the Magistrates Court yesterday. Simeone Sekonaya is charged with 2 counts of giving false information to a public officer and 1 count of malicious act. Sekonaya was initially given bail. However, he could not produce 2 sureties and therefore bail was withdrawn. He had allegedly presented himself to medical authorities last week, giving false personal details and claimed he'd recently returned from overseas and was not feeling well, having experienced symptoms of COVID-19. He disappeared after making the claims, and upon checking his travel history, it was discovered the accused had never left the country. Overseas, Iran is the focus of increasing concern with more cases traced back to the Middle East's biggest COVID-19 hot zone. It's feared officials there are unable to cope and aren't admitting the true scale of the outbreak. Saula Temu, who was previously charged with murder, is now a free man. Temu was acquitted by the Suva High Court yesterday after the judge found him not guilty. It was alleged that Temu caused the death of 23-year-old Aquila Salavuki at the Suva Foreshore in May in 2018. The judge said there was insufficient evidence to prove that Temu was at the scene at the time of the incident. Certain pharmacy owners are taking advantage of loopholes in ownership laws. The Fiji Pharmaceutical Society has found cases where an individual is controlling more than one pharmacy, which is against the Pharmacy Profession Act. Society President Renal Chand says a registered pharmacist can have only one outlet, but ownership laws have been exploited through false information, and there are even people owning pharmacies without qualifications.
The Pharmacy Professions Act states that non-pharmacists are not to have any sort of beneficial or proprietary interest in the pharmacy, but if I'm sure the consumers are aware, there are pharmacy chains, for example, and you can tell by the name of the pharmacy.
The Pharmacy Profession Board and the Society have been investigating such matters but don't have powers to take further action. Coming up, 3 Fijians make it to 7's Dream Team. And Fiji Warriors ready for Pacific Challenge.
Oira na ngone no de nuni ena be singa ni mataka.
Mersi sunga da kena loma dina kena mikroni.
Sakena ngau na mitar lo bina nora bangsa ngai ka wala lo mataki na ngone. Dala bina oya o meliki.
Bulre o ya Samuel Samuli.
Nama ki rau ena be mataka.
Boniti kena bagrombuka.
Ni wai tiri kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One na ndomo ibiti.
Indah pindah na mataka dan ramai na singabo.
Welcome back. The Fiji 7 side is now third in the World Series point standings after the Los Angeles tournament yesterday. Fiji now has 72 points and is in third place. New Zealand is still on top with 93 points, followed by South Africa with 89. France has dropped to fourth with 67 points, and England is fifth. 3 Fijians have been named in the HSBC World Series Dream Team after the Los Angeles Sevens. Asaeli Tuivuaka, who had a great tournament, made the team along with Sevuloni Modenedangi and Napoleon Nimbolatha. JC Pretorius and Stedman Gans of South Africa, Australian Lachi Miller, and American Carlin Isles made the team as well. Bolatha is also the impact player in LA with 54 points, just pipping Amaniasi Tuimamba and Gans of South Africa, who had 53 points each. The Swire Shipping Fiji Warriors have big shoes to fill during the World Rugby Pacific Challenge this weekend. The Fijian side has had a 6-year winning streak and will work hard to defend the title. Venina Rakautonga has more.
The Fiji Warriors will have to bring their A game if they are to retain their title.
You know, they need to come up and put on the best performance so that you know, they can be able to defend the title again this year. But you know, for them it's doing the small things right and trying to contribute to what the game plan is there so that they could achieve that goal.
Player Christopher Minimbi believes the players must display the right attitude during the game.
Yeah, it's a huge step up for a lot of the boys, but even though because of their age, you know, the coaches are telling us it doesn't depend on the age. It's about you know, your attitude and how you carry yourself on the field. And I think the boys are really stepping up, and yeah, it's going to be a great experience.
The first round of the Pacific Challenge will kick off this Friday. Junior Japan will play Samoa A at 2:30 p.m., while the Fiji Warriors will play Tonga A at 5 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
The 2020 Coca-Cola Zero Deans competition will likely feature a girls rugby teams as well. Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor says they are still in discussions with the Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League officials. O'Connor says the growth of rugby in the future begins from grassroots levels.
In the future, we're looking at under 19, and also this year we hope to start introducing women's rugby as part of the Deans competition. But we'll have discussions with the Deans secondary schools. But there's huge potential for growth in women's rugby.
The Coca-Cola Zero Deans will be held in August. Despite the 0-0 draw with Lautoka, the Babasing Lions are happy with their performance in round 5 of the Vodafone Premier League on Sunday. The side dominated during the match but was unsuccessful in scoring a goal. Head coach Ronil Lal says the team did well and has the potential to do better in the future.
We have got equally good players, I believe, and they were given the chance. Then coming in second half, we changed the game altogether, and I think so. We have to plan before we play, so it was something we did.
Afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms are forecast for the group. Expect a mostly fine morning. And that's your FBC Morning News. Remember to join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin for these stories and others. You can also tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. That's it from me for now. Have a good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।